This is Style Points, where we walk through the key elements of a beer style and then taste some commercial examples that illustrate the range of that style. Today, appropriately, we're kicking it off with Helles Bock, also known as Maibock, and Mai is the German word for the month of May. Bock beers as a style family are strong lagers, so a Maibock is a strong lager meant to be enjoyed in the month of May or in the springtime. So traditionally in Germany, these are released as spring seasonal beers. Walking through the BJCP ranges for attributes of the style, looking at an SRM range of 6 to 9, so deep gold into that light amber color. IBU range of 23 to 35, and a moderate perceived bitterness is typical for the style. And then elevated ABV at 6.3 to 7.4%. Talking about key ingredients and processes, malt bill starts with Pilsner, Vienna, and Munich malt, some mix of those three, possibly some judicious use of crystal or Cara malts to add some complexity and flavor. And how the brewer approaches that malt bill is going to be a key driver for the differentiation in the style. German noble hop varieties, and typically a little more perceived bitterness and hop aroma and flavor in Helles Bock compared to other members of the Bock family. Clean lager yeast, really letting the malt and hops shine. And then the one process to really talk about that's traditional is decoction mashing. So not all commercial examples will be brewed using decoction mashing, but it is a traditional aspect of the style that adds some color and flavor. So for the two commercial examples of Helles Bock that we have to try today, we've got Ayinger Maibock from Germany, 30 IBU and 7% ABV, and Hofbräu Maibock from one of the original 6 Munich breweries, 31 IBUs and 7.2% ABV. So the two beers very similar as far as IBU and ABV go, but if you hold them up side by side, you see they're at very different ends of the range for the style as far as color goes. So the Ayinger is in that deep gold color category, whereas the Hofbräu is in that light amber color category. And that's going to suggest some different malt choices that come through when you taste these two beers side by side. The Hofbräu is also decoction mashed, so that's going to add some color development and additional complexity of malt flavor. And that really comes through, like I said. So when you taste the Ayinger, you get that fresh baked bread note, almost like that dense artisan bread, light toast, hints of honey. And then what really stands out for me is kind of that breakfast cereal, cooked cereal quality, almost like muesli. So when you put that together, kind of toasty, honeyed muesli, really nice, pleasant malt note in the Ayinger. Very different in the Hofbräu, where you get that deeper or darker toast, hints of bread crust, pretzel bun, things like that. And then toasted sugar in the raw, brown sugar, kind of a confectionery, sweeter note. And that overall gives it an impression of brown bread or prairie bread. So much different as far as malt goes. Hofbräu also has a little bit of nuttiness, so kind of crushed almond, walnut, caramelized nuts when you put it all together. So very different in those two beers. From a hop perspective, more hop flavor and aroma comes through in the Ayinger, and that is that kind of peppery, spicy, classic German noble hop variety aroma and flavor. For me, that's like fresh mint, cracked pepper, bitter herbs, and then the background floral note like mountain meadow, fresh white flowers, things you would normally get from German noble hops. Not a lot of that in the Hofbräu in the aroma, but definitely get it in the flavor, and it's a little bit different. For the Hofbräu, you're talking about dried citrus, dried lemon and orange, some lemongrass, and then a woodier fresh pepper quality there too. As far as perceived bitterness goes, the Ayinger, for me, has a higher perceived bitterness. Some of that's probably because of the malt flavor and aroma that you get in the Hofbräu, kind of hiding it a little better. The Ayinger also has a more apparent alcohol note, so kind of a rosy, solventy alcohol note that is more well hidden in the Hofbräu, and that might be accentuating some of that perceived bitterness that we're getting in the Ayinger. Other differentiator for me between these two beers is the Ayinger has more of a background fruity note, and that's, to me, golden apple, dried apple, some other fruity elements like that you just don't get in the Hofbräu. So that's the difference between these two commercial examples. I hope you enjoyed the style points on Helles Bock. Go drink some Helles Bock or Maibock while 'tis the season. You can grab these two examples of the style and put what flavors you're picking up in the comments, or try other commercial examples like Einbecker Maibock, Chuckanut Maibock, or shout out to a local California brewed version of the example, Integrin Maibock. Happy tasting, everybody. Cheers.